10 News begins with breaking news.
Shaking felt all over Southern California tonight. An earthquake in the desert just east of San Diego was followed by several aftershocks throughout the evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kimberly Hunt. The 4.9 magnitude quake hit about 16 miles southwest of La Quinta. 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena spoke to geologist Dr. Pat Abbott about what we can expect next.
56, 8, and 8.
This little girl's eyes say it all. She, like so many of the rest of us, felt it. The unmistakable shaking of an earthquake.
What do I do?
Friday nights happened just before 7 o'clock and was centered near La Quinta, registering a 4.9.
The big one here so far has been this 4.9, but it was followed right away with some fair-sized aftershocks, 3.6, 3.5, 2.7, 2.6. So in other words, it's pretty active right there.
Geologist Dr. Pat Abbott explains that the area where the earthquake happened sees a lot of small and medium-sized quakes pretty regularly.
The San Jacinto Fault basically comes all the way down to, say, the west side of El Centro. And then as it goes north, it goes all the way up and actually merges into the San Andreas Fault in the city of San Bernardino. So it's a long fault.
Dr. Abbott adds, although there's a small chance this could have been a sign of a bigger quake to come, it's more likely it was just a small distraction.
We live here in California. Earthquakes are part of day-to-day life. And so here's one of those.
Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
We will continue to follow any aftershocks and new updates on the earthquake on our 10 News mobile app. There is a free version available in the App Store. Just search 10 News. There are now more than 1,000 coronavirus cases in San Diego County. During their daily briefing, county leaders announced there are now 1,112 local cases. That's 146 more than yesterday. There's also another coronavirus-related death, bringing our total to 17. Father Joe's Villages announced today it's had its first positive case of COVID-19. Now 40 people in their facilities have been tested. 10 News reporter Matt Boone takes a look at how the county is continuing its efforts to reduce infection among the homeless.
In the East Village, Father Joe's serves many needs, from meals to shelters to medical care. They announced Friday their first COVID patient wasn't living in a shelter, but rather in their transitional housing facility.
The person is a female, and the person is 65 years of age.
Deacon Jim Vargas says the woman was living with two roommates who have now been quarantined. Since the outbreak began, they've screened around 1,000 people, though tested far fewer.
Through this process, we so far have identified and coordinated testing or performed testing ourselves for 40 individuals with symptoms.
Dr. Jeffrey Norris runs the on-site health clinic. He said 25 of the tests were negative, but they're still waiting on 14 more. Meantime, the county was out this afternoon handing out personal hygiene kits to homeless people on the streets, educating them about the virus. The county says they're not tracking whether someone is homeless or not in their testing data, making it hard to know how widespread infection rates may be in the unsheltered population. The city of San Diego has opened up Golden Hall and the convention center to serve as shelters, abiding by social distancing guidelines. The convention center itself could fit up to 1,500 people. Vacant hotel rooms are being used as well.
We moved at least a week to 10 days ago. We moved 55 families to the motel rooms, which encompassed 153 people. And those who are not individuals who are symptomatic.
Deacon Vargas says they're not currently providing masks to their residents unless they show symptoms, but they continue to sanitize and emphasize distancing, which he believes has kept infection low.
All the procedures that we have put in place work to our benefit.
Matt Boone, 10 News.
San Diegans are still adjusting to the sweeping new orders yesterday from the county that includes the closure of all park and beach parking lots. Supervisor Nathan Fletcher says too many people are driving to places where parks are open, and he hopes that closing the parking lots will prevent that.
We believe that we can lessen the gathering and we can lessen folks traveling from one entity to another. The reality is you shouldn't be driving to a park or recreation center. If there's one near you and you can walk to it, then that is okay. Our public health order also distinguishes between active recreation and passive recreation. Passive recreation, hiking, walking, biking is allowed in those jurisdictions, centers that remain open. Active recreation is not. basketball, volleyball, football. Included in active recreation are swimming, surfing, and recreational boating. All of those activities are prohibited county-wide.
We are all making sacrifices to stay home, but Mayor Kevin Faulconer and local health experts challenge San Diegans to find ways to keep themselves and their children mentally and physically strong.
Remember to take that deep breath. Once you remember, don't lose focus on making sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Establish a routine. Establish a modified school schedule with different activities about every 30 to 40 minutes that kind of mimics the school day. And have a scheduled lunchtime together, making sure that they're getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, and getting their own physical activity as well.
The San Diego YMCA president directed parents to their website for advice on mental health and child care programs. A new county order is recommending that residents cover their faces when going out in public. That new order will go into effect at midnight tonight. County officials are asking residents to wear cloth face coverings that can be purchased online or made at home. Well, this will help ensure that healthcare workers are able to get the medical grade masks that they need. One local woman is helping set up and teach others how to make their own masks.
The more people I can teach, the better off it's going to be.
Well, she says sewing a mask is easy. Just grab a pattern, do a little bit of folding, and then sew along the dotted lines. There are now more than 275,000 cases of COVID-19 in this country, up from just 19,000 in the past 2 weeks. As ABC's Marcy Gonzalez reports, deaths are surging in New York as states are desperate to slow the spread of the pandemic.
The death toll from the coronavirus emergency surging in the United States. New York seeing its biggest daily increase in the number of people killed by COVID-19 yet. Dozens of refrigerated trucks lined up outside of hospitals there to hold victims, and funeral homes overwhelmed.
I would love to pick up Grandma now and have her under my roof where I could watch her, but I don't have the accommodation to get her right now.
In some states, as many as 1 in 5 sickened with coronavirus are healthcare workers. So many on the front lines pleading for critical supplies to protect themselves and treat patients.
We are running out of ventilators, and I feel like we're playing musical chairs with the ventilators we have on right now.
Governors saying they're forced to bid against other states and the federal government to try to meet the urgent and growing need.
We're doing the best we can. I wish they did the original orders 3 years ago. They would have had all the ventilators they needed.
President Trump also saying he will not pressure the several states that have yet to issue stay-at-home orders aimed at slowing the spread of the pandemic, and announcing new federal guidelines for wearing face covers in public.
The CDC is advising the use of non-medical cloth face covering as an additional voluntary public health measure. So it's voluntary. You don't have to do it.
President Trump adds he does not plan to wear a face covering of any kind and stresses that medical-grade masks should be reserved only for healthcare workers and first responders. Experts also note that face coverings do not replace the need for physical distancing. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Recent data shows that California's stay-at-home orders could be slowing the spread of the coronavirus. New York and Michigan saw an overwhelming surge of cases this week, while our state did flatten the curve. The White House Coronavirus Task Force coordinator says that's because California didn't wait to act.
We really do appreciate the work of the citizens of California and Washington State, because we do see that their curve is different. Their curve is different from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And we really believe that the work that every citizen is doing in those states is making a difference, and it will make a difference for the frontline healthcare providers.
As of late this evening, California was the 4th state with the most cases of coronavirus. The man who told Congress about the whistleblower complaint that led to President Trump's impeachment has been removed. Intelligence Community Inspector General Michael Atkinson will be fired in 30 days. The president sent a letter to Congress today to that effect. President Trump wrote that it is vital he have the fullest confidence in his appointees. He added he no longer has that with Atkinson. He did not name a successor. A granddaughter and great-grandson of Robert Kennedy are missing and presumed dead. Maeve Kennedy Townsend McKean and her 8-year-old son Gideon were last seen last night struggling to get ashore in a canoe. They were in the Chesapeake Bay near Annapolis, Maryland. The Coast Guard spent 26 hours searching from the air and the water. The two were in the canoe to chase down a ball that was kicked into the water by McKean's children. The rescue mission is now considered a recovery effort.